Hi, thanks for joining On the Mic with My City Social. We're a podcast for businesses to learn about digital marketing and hopefully have some fun in the process. My name is Nick, and I'm here with Jennifer.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, and thanks for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I know, Jennifer, your background is in SEO,
Yes.
right? Which I'm sure most people know what that is, but that stands for search engine optimization. And today we're going to talk about a fun topic that I think, the thing with SEO is there's not really any certifications that you can get for SEO. And, Google really doesn't give out its secrets in terms of what it does to rank your website. So you have a lot of people out there giving a lot of information, and it's really hard to figure out what's actually true and what's not. So today's podcasts are about the top myths in regards to SEO, and we're going to cover those today, right?
I'm so excited. Let's do it.
Okay, so when we cover this list, are we going from like the biggest myth to the smallest myth, or are we just covering myths in general?
Myths in general, I kind of had a little fun and kind of took a note of what are the ones I hear most often from my peers or from clients or from sales or anyone really in the industry. I just kind of put that together, and these are the ones that just popped up and came to mind.
Okay, very good. I know you work with clients all the time, right? Daily. So I'm sure you hear everything in the book when it comes to what people think they need to do to rank on SEO.
Everything in the spectrum.
So which one do you want to start with? I'm curious.
Ooh, let's just start with heading tags and metadata. That seems to be a hot topic lately.
Okay. So let's talk about that. Now, I know a lot of people listening to this, they hear the word metadata, and it even to me, it sounds very technical, right?
Okay.
So maybe we can go into what that actually means and how that translates into a myth.
Sure. So metadata, for all of you, those of you that are curious, anytime you go and you Google something, put something in the search engine, you're going to get the results, right? And you can pick whatever you want. A lot of times the reason why you pick one over the other is the way that it's written. There's a little title. It's usually compelling, or you need to make it compelling. And then below that, there's a little description that tells you, ideally, what you're looking for is in that description. Maybe even see there's a promotion or something really neat to continue to capture your attention. And so meta title and meta description together, they're just under the umbrella term metadata. It's a type of metadata.
So when I'm searching on Google, right, let's say I search for, best restaurants in my city.
Sure.
And I see those results.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the metadata?
Yeah, one of them will definitely be like, you'll see that title. Maybe it's the title something like top 10 restaurants in Orlando. And then the description will say, if you're looking for the top 10 restaurants in Orlando, we have a guide for you, click here. So that's an example of what you're probably going to be reading.
Okay, so why is this a myth?
Because for many years, metadata, or title and description, whichever, metadata was used as a ranking factor with Google. So every SEO out there, was always scrambling to write metadata, and because, oh my gosh, if you wrote it on every single page, everything's going to rank. That has completely changed in the last 5 years. It's totally not the case. We don't write metadata to rank our clients' websites. We write metadata to grab the attention of users that are doing that search, and through beautiful, compelling copy, make them click your result over
Gotcha.
everyone else.
So going back to this example, when I'm searching for the top restaurants, right,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at all these search results,
Mm-hmm.
what you type in the meta tags is what's going to get me to click on your website versus the other person.
Exactly. That's something that we custom write for every single client, and you want to make it really catchy, informative, and beat everybody else's. So you have to be a great copywriter.
So it's interesting. It sounds like it's very important,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more designed for people to read, not to rank your website to the top of search.
Exactly. It's all about the user experience. That's really what it's turned into. So if you write one that's compelling, that's going to eventually lead them to click on it, hence increasing your click-through rate. And that's what you want. You want yours to be the one that people click on, and Google will take a note of that.
Gotcha.
That is what they take note of.
It makes sense. So if my website makes it to the first page, I need the right descriptions and information to help with my click-through rates, basically get people to click on the link.
Exactly.
But I still need to get it to the first page. But having those meta tags on my website are going to do absolutely nothing to get me to that first page.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm. And now when you speak to customers and clients, do they think that putting keywords and stuff like that in their meta tags is going to help them rank better?
Honestly, it's more of a conversation right now with SEOs and industry peers. A lot of my clients right now, frankly, if I say metadata, it sounds like Japanese to them. They're business owners. They're experts in many other fields, but this one is something they usually come to us for help with. Mm-hmm. So if they ask about it, we could definitely educate. Some of them may know, but most of them don't. So it's often right now, it's just a really big thing in the SEO industry for us to know. And if ever it comes up, or our clients are curious, or staff are curious, these are things that we train them on.
Well, that's good to know too. And those are the people listening right now that are trying to do it themselves. Mm-hmm. This is a good, I think, guidance to let them know that it's useful, but maybe not useful for ranking. It's useful for click-through.
Yeah, definitely.
I know when somebody asked earlier about our podcast topic today, we told them and they said, wow, the number one thing I hear is, is my website going to get to the first page tomorrow or next week?
Yeah, overnight, right?
So that has to be common, right? People think they're going to get ranked immediately.
Still, yeah, I still get that commentary. Comes up quite a bit still. It's just an old thought. It's definitely not true. Now, I promise you, if I can get someone's website to rank tomorrow, I'm going to be a millionaire. Trust me, if there's a way, I would love to know. Yeah. But no, it's very much like running a marathon. You have to prepare for the marathon, then you need to run it. You think of your website that way. You have hundreds of thousands, millions of websites out there. You need to do all of the steps to get your website to rank. There's a big, long laundry list of things that Google has given as policies and guidelines. You follow those and you kick a lot of butt with your content and user experience, and you're going to see your website begin to rank. But then the part of the marathon is, okay, maybe you can catch up to your competitors, but then you need to surpass your competitors. And those are the people that get into the first page top positions. So if you think of it like a nice long-term goal, like a marathon, I think that always makes a lot of sense with our clients and understanding that this is a long-term process.
Yeah.
And it's totally worth it. You just have to give it that love and attention it needs.
Yeah, I work with a lot of business owners, so I would imagine that right now a lot of them are thinking, okay, well that makes sense, but generally speaking, how long is it going to take to rank my site? Mm-hmm. What kind of answer do you have for that?
Oh yeah, so in SEO we're all about data. I'm not going to say whatever sounds pretty. I'm going to tell them, hey, let me do research, let me do competitor research. I see you have this much competition in this area. If you're trying to go ahead and market these type of products, okay, I could see even with keyword data, it might take me 3, 6, 12 months just on experience looking at how the data tells me all these levels of competition. Yeah. And I can then tell them that. In the meantime, I give them strategies through Google My Business to get business in the meantime, PPC, which is Google Ads, for how to get business in the meantime. But you never want to just say, oh, because I'm not going to get, SEO ranking in 6 months, I should stop. I should not do it. No, you got to. If you don't start, you're never going to be able to run this race, and you definitely won't win the marathon.
So it's safe to say that we can't give a blanket statement saying, okay, you're going to rank in 6 months. We have to see what the competition is, mm-hmm. how many other businesses are competing for the same keywords, yes. right? And then using that information, we can give them a better idea. Exactly. Right, of how long it's going to take to rank for that keyword.
Yeah.
Now, is there a particular time range that they can expect to rank, or does it go by industry? Or if I say, hey, attorneys, does it really matter if it's by industry, or does it matter by city or the type of attorney? I mean, would it not be possible to give an answer as far as timeframes go, or is there a general guide we can use?
So basically, you have to think of each client's website like a different child. This is always something I explain to my clients. You have to think of them like different children. So one website, maybe, it's in the industry of law. And then you have another website that's in industry of law. But they're completely different cities. The demand is different. What people want as a service under law can greatly differ for each attorney. So while they may be under law, one can say, I want to do divorce in Miami. The other one can say, I want to do probate in Orlando. Completely different data. So only until you do that research into the competitor and see everything that they would need to do to actually catch up, can I then give a figure. I never want to give my clients fluff. I want to give them actual hard data and give them really good estimates.
So it sounds like it's per case mm-hmm. basis, right? And we have to look at each website as its own project, entity. Right? Its own entity. Mm-hmm. And we look at the competition, we look at the keywords, and we look at how many other people are going for the same keyword, and then from that point we can give them some type of idea, right? How long
Definitely,
it's going to take.
yeah. We'll make a strategy. We'll tell them, okay, this is what you need to get caught up, and then to surpass them.
Okay, wonderful. What else do you got for us?
Sure. So, oh my goodness, there's just so many. So a lot of times I also get about blogs. Blogs is something that people can see. A lot of business owners, they've read blogs before. They have them, or maybe they're thinking about adding them to their site, and they're not really sure about the value of what they deliver and how that can really benefit them, especially nowadays. So with blogs, the myth is the more blogs, the better. But this is also a very old school type of SEO mindset. Now it's not so much about the quantity of blogs, it's the quality of blogs. Google's done an amazing job through RankBrain in the recent years with all different algorithm changes, and they don't really care about how many. It's the quality. Are they share worthy? Are you delivering value, answering the user's question fully to every possible extent? Like basically making your blog the definitive guide in something that anyone can go to and say, whoop, I found every answer I can think of regarding this question.
That kind of reminds me of social media almost, where a lot of business owners, they just do a lot of posts on their social media. And they feel like doing that activity is going to equate to some type of growth in their social media, right? And you look at their page and they post daily and they have 150 followers or likes on their page. So is it very similar with blogs where they're putting up content on their website and they're just posting it every week or every month, but it's not really doing much for their business?
Yeah, because again, you can post 100 times a day. But if it's not grabbing anyone's attention, it looks like garbage. There's not really great copy that would ever compel me to click. You're just wasting your time. It really is about quality.
Yeah. And when you say quality, just to be clear, and you said it's share worthy, are you talking about engagement? It has to engage the user?
Yes, they need to be, again, because if you're really answering a person's question and giving value, they would be happy to share it online, whether your social media, different forums, give it to other people in messages. Again, the traffic that would come to your blog grows exponentially because you're actually giving something that the people want.
Yeah.
So in essence, that's what the focus has to be. It's no longer, let me just answer a blog topic generically. No, you want to answer everything possible that can stem from a question that people have and really help them to know the steps to solve that question or that problem in that blog.
So I would imagine for the average business owner listening to this right now, they're probably thinking, wow, Google can actually figure that out. They'll know if the content is relevant and if it's quality content.
Because they're going to go ahead and look at the data. Okay, you have blog A, for example, over here, maybe 500 words, has a couple paragraphs, just very broadly going over a topic. And then I have blog B, which is what I call a super blog. 1,880 words minimum. These are typically, they have lots of infographics and steps and bullet point lists that will take you in depth and great detail on how to achieve X goal or X answer or resolution. Pretty much we're all going to go to blog B if you're truly looking for an answer. And that's something that Google has definitely picked up on. And now they haven't made it a secret. 1,880 words. You really deliver amazing value in that, beautiful imagery, you're probably going to see a wonderful spike in your traffic.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, your traditional blog is closer to 400 to 500 words.
Yeah.
And I know that Google wants even more content.
Yes,
right?
They love words. They love text. One of the few things our robots can actually understand.
So I think the best way maybe of wording this is if you put out content that people want to read, that they want to see, that's engaging, that should be your main focus. Not manipulating Google and trying to add as many blogs as possible. Sometimes less is more as long as you're providing good quality content.
Precisely. Don't try to manipulate the beast. They know what they're doing.
Very nice. So that's very similar to backlinks too, right? I know that's another myth out there.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes, I get that a lot as well. Let me do 1,000 backlinks. Let me do 10,000 backlinks. That's wonderful as a thought. But again, if your backlinks are bringing me to places in China and all your business in the USA, it doesn't really help the people that actually would be searching in your area. They're never going to find that. Or if I have backlinks that Our high domain authority. Domain authority, again, is more of like a trust flow that Google has with a website. You know, are they really actually the best resource and place of authoritative information over a topic? You know, is the domain authority high? Okay, that's a ranking factor, and we can talk about that a little bit as well because it's not everything. But these backlinks should be relevant to the industry. They should have great domain authority or trust. And again, they need to be something that really delivers like value to people, that are legitimate. These are legitimate links. There's not just some random site that isn't relevant. It's not going to really help the client in the industry they're in.
Gotcha. And now at one point, the more backlinks you had, the higher you ranked.
Back in the day.
A long time ago,
Yeah,
right?
back in the day, yes.
And that's obviously changed dramatically.
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Had quite a bit of, because so many people were trying to game the system. SEOs, myself included 10 years ago. We all did everything we could. And Google's gotten stricter and stricter and stricter because they see that we're constantly trying to find creative solutions and workarounds to what they say. But all in all, it's become a lot tougher to even create a workaround nowadays. You really do have to follow them strictly and be white hat.
So almost like blogs, as long as you're providing quality backlinks to other websites that have content that's similar to yours, that are reputable websites, that are backlinking to you, that's going to help you with your backlinking.
Precisely.
Okay. All right, very good. And then how about things like having, when it comes to the backlinking, I know that having like a high domain authority website is an important thing.
It's an important thing, but you have to be really critical too. So part of the fun when you're doing backlink audits is sometimes you'll look through and you'll see some questionable websites that have amazing domain authority, for example, porn sites. So you always have to, as an SEO analyst, like really look at every single link because again, it makes sense if it's high domain authority, but if you don't actually check it, look at it, see if it's relevant, you know, you're not really doing a good thing there for your client.
Gotcha. So it kind of goes back to the content, where the content of the backlink should also matter just as much as well.
Yeah, the relevancy.
And then I remember back in the day where, and I don't know if other people remember this, webmasters would reach out to another webmaster and they would say, hey, let's exchange links. I'll give you a link if you give me a link, and then we'll rank better on Google. How about that?
That's cute. Yeah, I think it's more of a nice pat on the back for someone you know. That does not actually give you SEO juice because you're canceling each other out. So if I give you a backlink and then you link back to me, we've canceled out on SEO juice. But let's say, for example, there's scenario B. You say, hey, do you mind linking to my website? I say, okay, and I don't ask for anything to reciprocate. You're going to actually get SEO juice. So long as, you know, my website's high domain authority, something that people go to, blah, 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 like what we've discussed, you're actually going to get some juice from my popularity and relevancy of my website.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I meet with business owners all the time, and I hear all kinds of myths while I'm meeting with people. Sometimes I'll just kind of bring it up or call them out on it. Sometimes I won't, just because it's not worth going into. But something I hear quite a bit is business owners are under the impression that if they do Google Ads, Google will somehow give them a better ranking organically on their search results.
Yes, I've heard this one as well. That's a great one, actually. That's a wonderful topic. So Google Ads, PPC, that is paid advertising. That is totally separate from organic. Very different, just apples and oranges, right? So no, if you do Google Ads, it does not make your website rank all of a sudden to the heightened, page one. No, it's just another service. You pay for it, and that paid for ad is what will appear at the top, but not your organic website result.
Yeah.
They're two totally different things.
I think some people are under the impression that Google, on the back end, they want you to pay. So if you pay, they're not going to publicly announce this, but they're going to somehow rank you better because you're paying. And there's some kind of trade-off on the back end that nobody knows about.
Oh man, I'd love that. I'd dip a lot more thousands in PPC, that's for sure.
But I don't believe there's ever been a connection, right? There's never a company that's gone out there and said, hey, look, there's a correlation. Look, when we spend a lot more money in our ad dollars, all of a sudden ranking goes up. There's no correlation between the two.
No, not a direct correlation, because again, we have to think of all the steps, kind of like when we were going through, or we can even talk about that with social media at a later point, but no, you are going to have PPC, and that entails you having an ad that appears to the top. That could mean after they are on your landing page or whatever page, that they can go to other pages of your website. That is where it opens up a door to help with traffic to your website organically if it's not a landing page or etc.
Yeah.
So there's ways to kind of get more traction, but it's not a direct link. So that's the thing we have to understand. Just because I put more in PPC doesn't mean Google's like, okay, let me rank her higher. No. If people stay on that website or go to other pages and then they're converting in other pages, etc., that's where you start seeing more organic sides of things there. It's just a door. I think that's the simplest way to put it.
Yeah, I think we can squash that myth.
Mm-hmm.
There's no connection. How about social media? Do you hear a lot of people thinking that social media will automatically rank their website higher if they're active on social media?
Yeah, I've heard of this. It still comes up all the time because there are actual social media platforms that can lead to you having some SEO, just like Pinterest, for example. You can optimize Pinterest and you have links and they actually do create backlinks to your website. Lovely. Google My Business, although not a social media platform, but it's its own little version of that, and Google loves itself, Google. So if you place posts on there that link back to your website or other things, yeah, you're actually creating viable follow links. But if you go ahead and post inside of Facebook, they're different. They kind of hide that from the algorithm, unless if you have specific pages. But within a regular profile, no. I mean, so you just have to know what you're doing and what directly correlates and what could lead to other avenues if you were to post on social media.
You're right. There's a lot of social media channels out there. I think by far the two most common that we see is Facebook and Instagram. Mm-hmm. Those are the first two people are going to use typically. So if somebody's active on social media, out of what I'm understanding here, typically it's not going to help them with their Google ranking just by posting alone by itself.
Exactly. There's not directly, unless if it's something really specific like Pinterest, but otherwise no. If you're on Facebook and Instagram, it's opening a door because they're linking back to your website, where then a person could go to your website, and then that could lead them to then convert and buy something, etc. down the line. Maybe they visit it later on. Maybe they share about it eventually on other places. It's a doorway.
Now, having a Facebook page can maybe help with your ranking, I would imagine, right? The page itself.
The page itself is helpful. You can see the descriptions in search results. So I have a Facebook page, I have a business page. I can definitely see my metadata, or my description, of my Facebook page in search results. Yes, because that is a part, it's a specific page that does get indexed, which is lovely. YouTube videos are Google. So anything you do on YouTube is fabulous for SEO.
Very nice. So for business owners listening out there, bottom line, posting on Facebook, posting on Instagram by itself is not going to rank you on Google by itself.
For specific platforms, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it is a lovely way for branding and opening the doors for many opportunities.
So there's still plenty of benefits, just not for ranking on Google.
Exactly.
Okay, very nice. Now, have you heard of these websites where basically they'll help you with your SEO if you submit your website to all the search engines out there? That's one that I've heard.
Yes. The first one that comes to mind is actually GoDaddy. I'm not knocking on GoDaddy. I'm not saying they're bad. They have wonderful customer service, et cetera, et cetera. But when I hear about these quote-unquote SEO services that these hosting companies provide, I tend to cringe. I'll be honest. My clients have come to me before about that. So for a fraction of the price, let's say $50 a month, $100 a month, something ridiculous, they claim that they're going to do SEO, quote unquote, and it's not the case. They're going to do a couple of really minuscule tasks. It's a one-time thing. You pay that per month, and it's really a joke. I mean, anyone that's in my industry looks at that, and we just kind of shudder. It's almost become like so ridiculous for us to even see this. Because the caliber of SEO services you really receive from a human person that actually has experience and does the plethora of checklist items that Google requires is vastly different than the 2 or 3 things that these quote-unquote SEO services from the hosting companies are going to do. They're extremely limited. Extremely, extremely limited.
Yeah, I agree. So, just in general, submitting your website to all the search engines are not going to really do much for your website.
They're going to be lovely backlinks, and you want to appear on some of these. Sure, I mean, you should. It's a foundational item. I should have a listing on Bing. I should have a listing on Yahoo. I should have a listing on Apple. Okay, Apple Maps. These are foundational items. But again, the checklists that are required, like the big meat and potatoes of SEO, It's many other things.
Gotcha. And I thank you for that feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I know probably the last biggest myth that we had talked about is keyword stuffing, right? So basically what that means is the more keywords that I put on the page, the more I'm going to rank for it. So let's just say you're an Italian restaurant,
mm-hmm.
right? And you say like Italian restaurant downtown, and you just put that on your page 20 times because that's the keyword you want to come up when people type it into Google. That's going to help with your ranking.
Yeah, totally bad. So you can get in big trouble. I mean, keyword stuffing, I mean, it's a term, guys. It's a whole term. It's actually called keyword stuffing. You can look it up. This was an old practice back in the day when the web was starting out and SEO was starting off. People started to get smart about this whole keyword thing. And you would see web developers and SEOs go ahead and be really creative. And let's say you have a website with a white background. And then what I would do is I would have white text and I would just put a bunch of keywords in that page. This does no longer work. This is so old. This is like 20 something years old. This has been banned. Like you don't do this anymore. It's really terrible. You get in trouble. So no, what you want to do is focus on, yes, do we still use keywords in SEO? Yes, and they are viable and the data is great. But you need to use them just a little bit as a roadmap, as a guide, as a compass to your content. When you're writing your content, you want to use a lot of semantics, other terms, synonyms of what these keywords do naturally. So if I'm describing, for example, marketing, digital marketing in a blog post, and let's say my keyword is digital marketing tactics. I don't want to just put digital marketing tactics like 5, 10, no, that would be keyword stuffing. I want to say digital marketing tactics. Maybe in the next paragraph, I'm going to say, okay, some marketing tips. Maybe in another few paragraphs down, I'm going to say, steps to improve your SEO. All of these things that would eventually correlate to your blog topic is what we want to focus on. There are things that a lot of people will utilize to talk about the same thing.
Yeah. So it sounds like content is king, right? And it really doesn't matter how many times you use your keyword. Google is going to be able to figure out what that keyword is based on your content.
Yeah, and now they're even going further. Ever since RankBrain came out, I nerd out on that so much. Just the meaning behind sayings. In the US, we can say things like, what's something we'll have to say? It has to be like a saying. What's a common saying you hear?
I don't know.
That's a bag full of tricks.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, you got a bag full of tricks. That doesn't literally mean you have a bag and it's full of tricks or trinkets. It's a saying, like you have this ability to pull things out and make it happen, or the ability to solve something and do creative solutions. So with RankBrain, they're putting meaning and they're actually discovering, okay, instead of showing the user a search result for bags of magic tricks or etc., they're actually realize, oh, this is a saying and it means this, and they're going to pull a more relevant search query for you, for the user.
Yeah. I even read that in some cases, not all, you might not even have the keyword on your page
mm-hmm.
and still be ranked for that keyword, even though it doesn't appear on your page.
This is true. Yep. This is very true, and it's something that's really shocking a lot of people.
Yeah, so I think the key here is to not focus on keywords on your page and putting them in so many times. Just more providing that legitimate content that people are interested in reading and learning about and is relevant to your business and what you're offering.
People. It's all about helping people.
Yeah, and it sounds like everything that we've talked about, whether it's backlinking or the blogs or the keywords, it all focuses around that common theme, right?
Exactly. That's
helping people legitimately get rid of the shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
Because even, let's just say there was a shortcut that happened to exist today, it might not exist next year.
Exactly. They're constantly updating their algorithms.
But I think if you have good legitimate content, it doesn't matter if it's now, next year, or the year after, it's always going to be relevant.
It's timeless.
Yeah. So I think that's really key, right, to providing quality SEO and helping clients get to the first page of Google.
Yep, said it perfectly.
Very nice. Well, is there anything else you wanted to add?
I would say if you are a business owner and you're a little overwhelmed with everything going on and you're just not really sure how to rank, again, feel free to contact My City Social. We've been doing this for quite a while and we can really help to guide you on the next steps you need to take in your business. And I really wish every business owner out there, small or large, the most success in their journey.
Very good. I feel like we covered a lot of important myths today. There's other myths out there, but I think we covered all the big ones that are out there. And I'm sure as time goes on, more and more myths are going to pop up. But hopefully everyone listening was able to get something out of it, and they were able to improve their SEO as a result. I wanted to thank you guys for listening and joining our podcast. Thank you.